Naomi Kent from the Houses of Parliament, and we're really happy to be working with the University of Manchester to deliver parliamentary studies. It's a really exciting module because we are going to be bringing up clerks and officials from both Houses of Parliament to talk to students about how their part of Parliament works and give them the real inside story on what really goes on in Westminster.
I'm Francesca Gaines. I'm going to be teaching on the new Contemporary Parliamentary Studies module that we have running in Manchester. On my left is Patrick Diamond, and on my right is Dave Richards. We've all had experience of working in Parliament as well as teaching politics. I was a researcher in the 1987 to 92 Parliament. It was a really interesting, fascinating time in British politics, with the fall of the Berlin Wall, the first Gulf War, the release of Nelson Mandela. And domestically we had the poll tax riots, the resignation of Mrs Thatcher, and it was a period of really radical social policy reform. And of course it was the time when cameras were first permitted into the Commons, and that really opened up parliamentary procedures and practices to public scrutiny, which was a good thing, because before I went to work there it was really hard to find any information on how Parliament worked. Of course, once I had a pass, I could access the marvellous information from the library and the information service, which explained how select committees work, standing committees, questions and debates on the floor of the House. So I'm really pleased that Manchester politics students have the chance to take this new Contemporary Parliamentary Studies module, run with the Parliamentary Outreach Service, and it's a marvellous opportunity for our students to learn about how Parliament operates and how we can study how Parliament operates. And it opens up that knowledge and gives skills in how to work with Parliament, which is so vital for students who want a career in politics, the media, or in public service.
So I'm Patrick Diamond, and I'm a research associate here at the department in Manchester, and I'm also delighted to be involved with and teaching on this Contemporary Parliamentary Studies module. I've spent a period of my career working as a researcher in the House of Commons, and I've also worked in central government, where at various points I was responsible for and engaged with liaison with Parliament and with the legislature. I think one of the great opportunities about this course is to study what politics is really like in practice, in terms of how the machinery of politics and Parliament actually work, but also it's an opportunity to reflect on that practice in relation to the major academic and theoretical literature, and that's one of the big opportunities that students will get if they come onto this course.
And I'm David Richards, and I also will be delivering this module. And I think that reflecting on the teaching of parliamentary modules over the last 30 years, what's interesting is that, as Francesca observes, the 1980s was a highly political era, and yet the way we taught parliamentary modules did our students no service. It was very dry, very arid, and delivered in a particular way that soon fell out of fashion within universities. We're delighted that the Parliamentary Outreach Team has taken this opportunity to re-energise the teaching of parliamentary modules, and in so doing address many of the contemporary issues that current politics now faces. And in our own case, what we hope to give students insight into is one of the crucial dilemmas understanding our contemporary parliamentary settlement. That is to deliver a gap, or to reach a gap, between what Brian Barry in the 1960s referred to as a political model that appeared to be as such a power-hoarding model, versus those pressures for greater deliberation and participation that has led to what some would argue is a crisis of legitimacy in the 2020s. As such, what we're looking for now is for students to understand both conceptually and practically what British politics is all about. And we're very much looking forward to you participating in this course.